Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick. You know, I saw the ad with Colin Kaepernick. If you believe in, I don't know what it, believe in yourself, whatever. Believe that the white people are going to go crazy and start burning their Nike shoes. I don't. There's a couple things I don't get about this. One, why did you choose Colin Kaepernick? Like, that's a PR nightmare. Like, Colin Kaepernick, a person who is kneeling to stand for racial inequality and to change the government, the police union, and to bring charges against the officers who are killing black and white people, because it's not just black people being killed, but you see more black than any. And what I mean by change the government, Mike Pence was like, when he saw the video to the shooting in Louisiana where they had the guy, where the cop said he was going to shoot him before he even got there, and the guy had a gun on him in his pocket that we never saw, but he was allowed to carry that weapon, and he was selling CDs outside of a store. He got killed for that. And they shot him at point blank range while he was on his back with his hands spread out like this, which you could see his hands, and he wasn't reaching for anything, and they shot and killed him. And we should not bring this to the forefront. This is a human being who was murdered before he even knew what was going on. He was going to die that day because the police officer said he was going to kill him before he even got to him. That's it. So Colin Kaepernick is taking a knee because of this. Now, he's also been banned pretty much by the NFL, been blackballed by the NFL, and let's get this under control. Colin Kaepernick is an apex quarterback. He is better than over half of the quarterbacks in the league right now who are starting. All right? Yeah, he was having a downslope in his years, but you got to understand, Colin Kaepernick is one of the few quarterbacks who can Colin Kaepernick. This guy not only has good arm strength. Okay, Colin Kaepernick can curl a 110-pound barbell. One arm. Get that under control. Not to mention his sprinting speed is just ridiculous. He can just take off on you and he's gone. I'm imagining that Nike made him the face of this ad because he really did, give his all. He gave $1 million towards the cause. I don't know where that money went, but nonetheless, he put his money where his mouth is. He wasn't just giving lip service. He knew it was a dangerous thing to take a knee. Colin Kaepernick is also mixed. He's half black, half white. So as far as the, racism is concerned, or the two major races that are going at it, he's splitting hairs, man. He's right down the middle. But he's identifying, of course, you identify him as a black person. Anyone who has a speck of black in their blood is identified as a black person, but you don't know who all those people are, because there are a lot of people just now finding out that a lot of it was hidden, that their grandfathers were actually black, but their moms didn't want to, let anybody know that, so they were wearing foundation to make themselves seem more whiter. They were protecting their children and their lives, and I'm not exactly mad about protecting yourself, because bigots are out there and they will off you right now. So yeah, it's all about survival, but now people are finding out my grandfather was black. My grandmother was black. So there's that. And I'm not exactly mad at the ad. I'm not mad at nothing, actually. Saying somebody is mad is just an expression of almost confusion. But why didn't you pick one of the Williams sisters to, I guess they're not sacrificing everything. So I don't know, Nike, I just don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. You should have known you were getting ready to go through this hailstorm once you did this. You're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to do like Kanye West did when he said slavery was a choice. He lost 10 million, people who followed him on Twitter. I mean, it's just some things you can't do and can't say without some kind of fallout that is going to hurt your pockets. When you look at Nike, when you look at where your revenue comes from, this is one thing that confused me. Okay, let's try to get a grasp on America as it is today. America is made up mostly of white people. Okay, they are the majority. To get it into some type of numerical perspective, in 2016, there were 245 million white people in America alone. All right. And that same year, I forgot what it was for the Hispanics, but in 2008, the Hispanic population had grown 15 million more stronger than they were in 2000. All right. Okay. In 2000 to 2008, there's 2 million more black people, which put us at around 37 million. So the dominant race here in America is the Caucasians. Let me say the Europeans, because the Caucasians, they come from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay. And they're not blonde hair, blue eyes, they're actually dark hair. People who are actually Caucasians. They're actually, brunettes. But nonetheless, that's where your money's coming from, Nike. Of course, black people, you have the black dollar already. So my whole thing when it comes to an ad is when you put an ad out there, you're trying to gain revenue. You don't pay all of these people and put their images out there, and because you paid a good dollar for this, and then do it to lose millions of dollars. Yeah, you don't, Nike, you're not the face of, you're not who we turn to when we're looking for some type of revolution. You're just not that company. You're not at the forefront of revolting against, some type of inequality. I'm just confused why you would do this and not realizing the person whose voice you're using, whose face you're using, who you put on the front of the ad is raging against the machine, raging against middle America, white America, who can't seem to understand that the reason Colin Kaepernick took a knee had nothing to do with going against white America. White America made it that. He's trying to change legislation. He's trying to get the police union to not have such a tight grasp on letting these men and women walk free after they murder people. He's trying to get our, United States Congress to step in and change the laws and change the rules and hold people accountable, because they're people just like we are. Officers are people. They live and breathe and eat just like all of us. They are not special. There is nothing special about them. And this whole officers' jobs are hard. Everybody knows this. But listen, when you're using Gestapo tactics and saying you're going to serve, you're going to be an officer, and it's a good chance that you're going to, your life is going to be at risk, so on and so forth. When the government is doing that, that's different. But these people choose to be officers. They want to be police officers. Let's not get it twisted. The police officers out here had KKK hoods on during the Martin Luther King Day parade, and was on a float during a parade where all black people were watching, and they were on a float pointing at people. And then one of them was in the news years later with a KKK hood on, and he took it off, and it was a police officer. Let's quit acting like we don't know what's going on here. Sandra Bland, God, it just sickens me that people think it's okay to hang people. People think it's okay to let people get away with killing children. I don't know what God you serve, but I'm afraid of God. I look at a woman the wrong way. I'm like, Lord, forgive me. She was looking great. I'm sorry, Lord. Y'all hanging folk, shooting and killing them. You got good officers, you got bad officers. This is what Colin Kaepernick was standing up against. Had nothing to do with the flag. Nothing to do with the flag. Had to do with the second stanza in, Oh Say Can You See, with the anthem, any free slave will not go unpunished, because the slaves were fighting for the Brits, because the Americans had black people in slavery. They were beating them and killing them and chopping off limbs and putting them in bird-sized man cages and raping their women in front of them and slaughtering their children and feeding their babies to alligators. It's called gator bait. When you see this, when you see your friends being hung, you think I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna go fight for the people who's fighting against you, because you're slaughtering my family. This is still going on. Planned Parenthood, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, 3 strikes you're out, longer sentences for nonviolent crimes. No, this is what Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for. And if you're for it, now you're burning your shoes. Had nothing to do with veterans. Veterans are not offended by what Colin Kaepernick is doing. I'm a veteran. My dad's a veteran. My sister's a veteran. My brother's a veteran. And my nephew's in the Army. We're all Army strong, all of us. None of us are offended. We're not having a family meeting and get together talking about how Colin Kaepernick is offending us or has offended us. None of us. We're not offended. We all fought in the military. All of us. That's what my family does. We go into the Army. We educate ourselves. A bunch of us, there's a couple of people who have a doctorate's degrees in my family and education, and that's what we do. We live in this country, so we don't mind serving the country, but when the country is ignoring the fact that black people are being slaughtered and police are going on vacation, there's something wrong. We're questioning, are we American or not? We fight for our country. We get ourselves educated. Are we or are we not American? I don't know if I'm American anymore. Do I have to be white to be American? This is what Colin Kaepernick is talking about. Something's definitely wrong in this country. Definitely wrong. The blood is on you guys' hands. It's just, I know somebody's going to bring up black on black crime, but blacks are not sworn to protect each other. Police officers or corporate police, because I didn't vote for none of them, they're supposed to be sworn in, but whoever they're swearing in by, it's the problem. Who you sworn in by? What are you using? You're not using the Bible. We've taken the Bible out of almost everything. We've taken God. You can't under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all. That was all a lie. There is no more. You can't pray in school. Our presidents completely ignore the Bible. Completely. They just take God out of everything because someone's offended. Well, then guess what? You just going to be offended because I'm a praying man. This country was supposed to be predicated on prayer, but you know what? It's predicated on slaughter. It's predicated on theft, slaughter, and all-out evilness. And for you people who say, well, get out of your country, if you're a European, then guess what? This was never your country. By rights of conquest doesn't make it your country. If someone else was already living in a house and you come and kick them out of your house, you can't rightfully claim that this is your house. You can't. This is Timbuktu. All right? Get out of here with that America's Vespucci nonsense named by a Frenchman. The Indians were here first. All right? Cut it out. This is not your country. You live here, fine. But quit acting like you're the first race that was here. If I go to Europe and say, this is my country, my people were the first ones here, and I can actually prove that, then guess what? I'm home. If I go to Africa, my people were the first ones here. I'm home. Okay? The Indians can say that. They were the first ones here. This is their home. And there's 2 million of them here. There's 245 million white people here. Like, guys need to cut this out. I don't understand why Nike would do that to harm themselves, but has nothing to do with hating America. Most of you didn't even stand for the national anthem until around 2005 when the military paid. They paid the NFL for you to stand, pretty much, because they wanted a military presence there. Why? War propaganda. So they can send more people off to war because war is money. The military engineered this whole thing. And now you're like, this is disrespecting. All right. It has nothing to do with disrespecting the flag or the veterans. I haven't met one veteran that openly said Colin Kaepernick is disrespecting us. Not one. And I go to the VA hospital. My family's veterans. I got veteran friends. I haven't had one tweet, one phone call, one email that says, down with Colin Kaepernick. Not one. I know some people who are veterans that are white. Not one of them. So you guys can waste your money and burn your shoes instead of giving it to somebody homeless. You guys really, you don't care about children. You don't care about homeless people. You don't care about veterans. You guys don't care about these things. You don't care about these people. You care about color. That's what you care about. That's who you care about. You care about your color. You don't care about these things. You cared about children, then you would tell your president to stop separating families from their children. And where are all the girls going? Why are all the girls separated? Doesn't take a rocket science to figure out what this president is doing. All right? You guys were really about children and the homeless. There's a bunch of homeless people out there, but you rather burn your stuff. Instead of just being like, you know what? Somebody homeless could use these shoes. They're probably right outside your door. You guys don't want to do that, huh? You want to carry tiki torches and you guys are ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I just don't know. I don't understand why, but you know, Colin Kaepernick, get your money, bro. Get your money.